All right, gang. Welcome everybody to our builders call. We talk about building concepts on this call. Talk about um, other stuff too. I mean, whatever kind of what hits me, what I have planned, and whatever happens, happens. Um, I do have a purpose in everything I do. Sometimes God lets me know what that is. Sometimes He does not, and it's like, man. Oh boy. Okay. So I love what Paul says, man. You got to ignore your feelings. Feelings cause you to make bad, make bad decisions. Feelings can make you act impulsively, and a lot of times, at times, makes you miserable because you end up doing something you didn't intend to do, but the consequences of which that you're paying for. And but there are always ways. There's always hope. That's one thing, man. The feeling of hope, there's always hope. And you cannot fall into the bucket of despair, because despair is not a good place to be. Despair is Satan's pothole for you. You're rolling down the road and he'll put that pothole to despair that you can sink in. And we don't want you in that sinkhole. So we at the Alliance, I'll play my small part, whatever that may be, in getting you to avoid those sinkholes, those potholes of despair, and have you run over it, go around it, go through it, whatever it is, and help you, conquer yourself, man. Because really, literally, you're the one that lets the vampire in the room. Like a vampire can't come in unless you invite the vampire in. So that is you. That is me. So I can't let that be the thing that holds me back, because we all are our biggest obstacles. The way we think about stuff. When you think about what we do in the business of building, really it's just finding good people. Like, I don't know how we found Lori Ford, but we found her. Okay. Maybe we were the right time in her life where she is, and here we are. She's watching this, and maybe she'll get something out of it, and she's going to be getting her license done here in a little bit, right? And we'll get her out there serving families, So I don't know how people come to me. All I know is that they do. And whether I feel good or I feel bad, whether I feel tired or energized, my job is to serve and to help you move to the next step of what you want to accomplish in your goals. And I think building the business is a really great, let's go beyond the benefits financially. We all know the benefits financially. Well, I don't know, I shouldn't assume that. I've got plenty of videos on the financial benefits of building a business. And I do always try to convince people that it is one of the most worthwhile things you can do with your life. Financially, all the numbers I do, I'm a numbers guy. But I don't think that's why you build a business. I don't think you build a business because the numbers work. I don't think anyone really actually, you initially get motivated to do it because you see that the numbers work, but ultimately to get through your own mess and your own junk and to go help someone you don't feel like it ends up becoming more of a labor of love, or it becomes who you are, not what you do. And the benefits financially are just like any benefits when you serve others. But this vehicle is just an amazing platform to put yourself out there, to test yourself, to break through the limits that you have, that what we're going to do is there's like an envelope of your belief, because your belief really is the envelope. Like in aeronautical engineering, when I was at the academy, every airplane has a performance envelope beyond which it if you go beyond the performance envelope, the plane could fail. You know, the structure could fail. It does not perform. But the performance envelope, at the edge of the performance envelope, is when it is the most effective, the most efficient, the fastest, the baddest ass airplane, particularly when it comes to fighter jets. And you and me, we have our own belief of where that performance envelope is for us. And we're scared to go past it because we don't think we can. And when you get your mind right, you realize your potential and everything you can accomplish is so beyond, like you think you're here, but it's way up here what you can do to become great. And everyone has a seed of greatness in them because God put it there. Right? I mean, I'm sure you heard this before. God doesn't create junk. And if you think that you're deserving of junk and that you are junk, well, that's someone else talking in your ear, right? God never meant for you to be that or believe that. So our lifetime is trying to battle that perceived limitation of our belief systems, and to, you know, break through the limits of what that belief system can do for you. In fact, we are all where we are today. We're all at the performance levels we are today. We are all in our business today because of where we are and how we think and what we believe. Like, seriously, if you believed you can go agency manager, well, then why aren't you? Just like anything, right? How hard is it to get a 25,000 group, a 15,000 group, a 7,500 group, and a $1 group, 4 legs? How physically hard is that? It's not physically hard. It's just doing what you need to do every day, talking to new people, going out, producing, showing others and helping others produce, helping others feed their families, and just going through life, doing what you know you need to do. And through that journey, all of a sudden, things form up. You're going to find 2 or 3 people that form that 25,000 leg. And then you're going to find, you know, 1 or 2 people that will be that 15,000 leg. And you're going to find 1 or 2 people that make up that 7,500 leg. And then you got one person who's like crazy excited that does a policy on themselves. You did 50,000 total issue paid premium for 2 months in a row. Guess what? You're agency manager. So what you see in the alliance is that although physically everyone can do that, the belief level that they can do it isn't there yet, even though you physically can, because what all it is physically is talking to a lot of people every week, find out who wants to be part of our family, bring them in, invite them to all the stuff that we offer them after they get their license, to improve themselves, to grow, sales training, boot camps, belief, listen to Paul Roberts and Andy Albright and all our top leaders, Fitz, and getting around all the top leaders and listening to them, sprinkle the magic dust on them, and then the people will either take off or they won't. But all you're doing is finding them and putting them in. So, I mean, like, really, how hard is that? It's not physically hard. You know, it can be mundane. It can be boring. It can be dealing with drama, you know, people with drama, and trying to help people overcome that. But, you know, you don't really have to do the heavy lifting there. Those of us who have been through it can help you with those people. So really, I mean, so there's nothing to it. There's really nothing to it, because you'll find people. You will find people if you go out there and source them. We've got ways to help you do that, but that's all it is. Whether it took you 3, 4 years, 5 years, doesn't matter, because eventually it will happen. It does happen for everyone that hangs in there long enough. You're going to run into people. You know, Bill Britt used to say, a blind dog with a note in its mouth can go direct distributor. I mean, seriously, I believe that's true here. You don't know where they're going to come from. You don't know what's going to happen. But the journey, if you choose to go on this journey, is just kind of an interesting one, because you don't know where these great people come from, but they will be there if you're out there finding them, and they will be in your organization, right? I mean, no one is just blessed with the Trina Noel. Trina got in the business, and she was in the right place, right time. I mean, there's a lot of people out there like her that need to be in your group because you could attract them. You've got the personality that they like, and and hopefully our organization, not me, just our whole group, the alliance will give them something to grab onto and help them believe in themselves. So really what I'm talking about, all about the building process is belief, aren't I? I mean, it's about belief and changing the way you think. And there's a lot of cool books out there. I like this book, Think Like a Winner, by Dr. Walter Doyle Staples. It's a great book. It's like an oldie but goldie. Been around for a while. I think it's on somewhere on our book list. I mean, the only reason why I get books is because Andy recommends it. And he talks about this thing called expectation theory. He says here, expectation theory holds that your fundamental beliefs about yourself and your world are the principal determinants of your success in life. In fact, it is through your beliefs that you can create the very world you live in. So if you are frustrated at where you are, it's because you are the one holding you back. It is your beliefs. I love when Paul said, I knew where I was going. I believed in where I was going, and people hung on to my belief. People followed me because they believed that I was going somewhere, right? They believed that he was going somewhere, and people were attracted to that belief. And it's a powerful thing, and he created his world, making $1 million a year. He learned that from Andy Albright, who created his world. It doesn't matter what anyone says or does. What matters is what he did and what he believed. And through his belief level, boom, it created action, which created results. And sometimes the action wasn't like positive results, but the action produced enough positive results, more than the negative results, that created the alliance and this thing that we're, this tremendous platform that we're in right now. So you have that same ability. Like, God is no respecter of persons. If you believe the way that Andy believes, then you can create your world. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. In fact, it is through your beliefs that you create the very world you live in. So for good or for ill. So if you live in a hellacious world of drama and darkness, it's because you created it. If you live in a world of light and positive and expectations of an awesome future, that's because you created it. It is really in your hands. Think and Grow Rich goes over that. Is what do you want from the universe? What do you want from, if you ask for it and act on it, you will get it, right? Here's what he says about the practical application of expectation theory. The beliefs you hold are the direct result of all the thinking you have or have not engaged in. Is that powerful? The beliefs you hold are the direct result of all the thinking you have or have not engaged in. Beliefs are latent but powerful forces buried deep in the confines of your mind. See, there are things that you grew up with that has been locked in your noggin up here all through your years, the years of people telling you no, the years of people telling you, yes, you can do this thing, the years of being pounded, and the years of being honed, and the years of being tested by fire. All that is like up in your unconscious mind. Now, what that says is that you're not done yet, that you can still put more stuff in that noggin of yours. Your beliefs, in turn, create your expectations about results and future outcomes. Expectations are active forces at work in your mind. So the power of expectation is built on belief. And so when you create that expectation, you'll start acting on the expectation. Like Paul Roberts said, he kept talking, he kept speaking into existence. I want to make $75,000 a month, man. And even because because he wasn't at the time, but he knew he was on his way. I'm making $75,000 a month because that's, in essence, $1 million income, right? Expectations are active forces at work in your mind. Your expectations, in turn, determine your attitude. Your attitude, once expressed, determines your behavior. Do you see how kind of the link in the chain is your expectations determine your attitude, and your attitude, once expressed, determines your behavior, okay? In other words, it is built on the power of expectation that then your attitude is manifested with where you're going. When you expect to be successful, your attitude is, oh, I got this. I got this. I'm going to be successful. And then when you act on it, it is expressed in the results that you obtain. Okay, so the results will come from the action you put in because of your attitude. And your attitude is built on your expectation of a better life, a better future. Expectation could be called, it's another word in my opinion for hope. Expectation, hope. Expectation, hope. It's the same thing, man. And what is the antithesis of expectation and hope is despair. Okay, the pothole of despair that I was talking about. You cannot fall in that pothole. And if you do, you got to climb yourself out, climb your way out of it. And God has always helped you. He's always there to help you. You got to reach your hand up. See, his hand's like waiting for you, right? His hand is there waiting for you. He's reaching down. You're in the pothole of despair. He's reaching down. All I got to do is like, okay, all right, lift me up, Lord. Lift me up. And he will every time. No matter how bad it can get, he's always got his hand out, man. And so we got to have that belief that when we reach up for it, that his hand's there. And he will pull you out of that pothole. So check this out. This is what's cool about this book. Consider the following cause and effect relationship to see how personal beliefs represent the very foundation of your life. When you change your thinking, you change your beliefs. When you change your beliefs, you change your expectations. When you change your expectations, you change your attitude. When you change your attitude, you change your behavior. When you change your behavior, you change your performance. Man, and when you change your performance, you will change your life. See, Andy's always told me that you cannot stop someone who wants something bad enough. Okay, you cannot stop someone who wants something bad enough. It doesn't matter if they're a good person or a bad person. They want something bad enough, they're going to make it happen. And you cannot deny them. Why? Because they're performing. And where that seed of where that performance came from is the seed of changing your thinking. It's a small seed of changing your thinking, which changes your beliefs, which then changes your expectations, which then changes your attitude, which then changes your behavior, which then changes your performance, and then it will change your life. Wow, there's some really cool NLP stuff in here, man. I love this. I love this book. I think that's why it really totally appealed to me, right? Now, here's the thing. It's not all hunky-dory. All right, I changed my belief, Alex. I changed my thinking. Okay, when's all the good stuff going to happen? It's still hard. Of course it's still hard. It's supposed to be hard. But the beautiful thing about changing your thinking is that you become impervious to the hard. In other words, you'll absorb it, you'll deflect it, but it won't stop you. Do you see what I mean? Like, you already have the expectation of what you want to accomplish. So part of that expectation, part of that hope is that no matter what comes your way, that you will get over it, you will overcome it. It's like looking ahead towards a goal. when you're looking ahead for what you're trying to accomplish, all the little molehills and the little bumps along the way aren't a big deal because you've got your eyes focused on the prize. But if you're always looking down at all the drama and you get bogged down by all this crap, it's like, it's like the Wizard of Oz when they're in the poppy seed field, right? In the poppy seed field, they get distracted. They get off the yellow brick road. They're not focused on staying on the yellow brick road, and they get like high as a kite. And they are like out. They're out of it. How many times have we get distracted by junk, and you're looking down at all the junk, and you're dealing with all the junk, and you're focused on all the junk, but you forget about where you're trying to go. You're going there, man. You're going there. When you go there and you're focused there, then all the junk is just whatever, man. I'm still heading towards my destination. So deflecting all the stuff and getting around the potholes, will happen. Okay? So the bad stuff will happen. There'll always be setbacks and disappointments in the pursuit of any worthwhile goal. That is the definition of success. Is you got to go through the junk, man. You got to go through the junkyard to get to the other side. Failure is a vital and necessary part of the achievement process. So, like we say in the alliances, embrace the suck. Embrace it. Understand it for what it is. It's temporary. It is all temporary, right? But you are never defeated until you accept defeat as a reality and decide to stop trying. A key core belief. But you are never defeated until you accept defeat as a reality and decide to stop trying. A key core belief. When you let the obstacles bog you down where you decide it's not worth it, when you decide that you just start wallowing in it and you accept it, man, that's what will stop you. That's what will kill you. That's where you lose hope. You lose hope. You lose hope because you lose belief that this business and the people in it are here to help you through it. And when you lose that hope, you won't access us, the Alliance family, to help you. And then, man, you're stuck. There's like, I've seen it happen so many times. That's why, like, when you look at agency managers, taking 3-4 years to go agency manager, some of our top producers taking 3-4 years, right? It's because they had setbacks. They had to learn how to get over those setbacks. And then they start realizing, oh man, I don't need to wallow in that. I can get through it quickly by continuing to perform, by continuing to work. And then they realize, oh, well, if I just keep working, my time in that rut becomes like I get out of it quick instead of getting bogged down by it, wallowing in it, and then coming to realization, like how many of y'all started out the business had huge swings up and down of what you do. Well, that's the difference between you and the people that have been in business 3-4 years, is because they realize they get through it quick. Like when Trina went out 3 weeks in a row, she travels 3-4 hours. She goes to Mississippi from Texas, and she's trying to build a business there. She runs leads there, and she books all her appointments, and she travels out there 3-4 hours and then rocks the house. Well, she went 3 weeks in a row and got nothing. But she's been steel hardened. She's been forged from years of the ups and downs, is that when she goes through it, she knows that she doesn't have to wallow in it. She keeps booking appointments. And there's Paul, her upline, to say, hey, you got this, Trina. You know that this is just temporary. You know this is, and she goes, I got it. I know. I'm keeping dialing. And boom, she gets out of it quick and she moves on because she knows, she keeps her eye on the prize. She knows that it's a temporary place to be. So the process of maturing in the alliance and maturing in anything really is that process of learning how to get through the ruts quicker so you can keep your performance going, you keep your activity level, keep the behavior rocking so that you don't spend a lot of time in the ruts and that you keep moving forward, all right? So I love this concept, and I think this will really help you understand really kind of the building block process of how to change your thinking. He calls the 5 cups. So here's the way to think about it. The first cup is a cup of belief. What happens is when you fill this cup of belief, you max out your belief. How do you max out your belief? You max out your belief by going to hotspot meetings. You max out your belief by reading books. You max out your belief by going to national conferences. You max out your belief by hanging around the team. You max out your belief by being on all the conference calls and all the webinars and everything that we do. You max out your belief by thinking about your business and what you need to do next. You max out your belief by putting action in. But your belief is maxed out because you're hanging around everyone that believes in you and cares about you, right? And so this cup is going to run over and it'll spill into the cup of potential. Okay, so this belief goes into your potential and you start realizing, hey, I really can do this because I've seen people that, you know, come from my same background. I see people my same racial background. I see people that, you know, believe in the same things I believe that are doing this. Your cup of potential starts rising when you realize, you know what, I can really do this. And so this cup then spills into the cup of action, okay? And so, and this is like, I love phone dialing teams, dial teams, you know, the rally points, is because when you don't know that you can book appointments until you get to a rally point, and then you realize hanging around those people that you do have the potential because you see no one better than you or worse than you and they're making it happen. And then you start to take action. You know, I could do this. So your action level continues to increase, continues to increase, continues to increase. All of a sudden, your action then pours into what we call the cup of results, right? Because action will produce results, both good results and bad results, but results will happen. And what happens from the results is you start seeing the positive results and you're learning from the negative results. And when you start getting your skill level up, the negative results become less and the positive results become more. And you start overwhelming the negative with the positive results and you start getting 51% better results and then 52 and you start moving up, right? And this thing's rocking for you, okay? And then when you get the cups of results, ultimately, you start filling up this last cup. It's called the cup of life. Cup of life. Because here's what happens when the results happen. Is when the results start happening for you, when the results start happening for you, this is where you find happiness through fulfillment. Because your cup of life is what God has you on this earth for. It's your purpose. And when you're fulfilling your purpose, this is where, at the end of your life, God says, well done, good and faithful servant. Because this is the cup, this huge cup that he's put out there for you once you realize that this is why you're here on this earth. And, you know, and notice I didn't say monetary. The monetary happens along the way. The monetary happens here, right? But the fulfillment happens here. And what you think about this business, the alliance business, is that this is where it begins. This is where it begins. You have to protect this. You got to protect your belief at all costs. Protect your belief at all costs. You've got to bolster your belief and edify your belief by being around other people that believe in you. That's why I believe in you. But you got to believe in you. You got to be around the people and around the environment and all our conference calls. That's why we have the 18-player steps. You know what the 18-player steps all about? The 18-player steps, right, are all about belief, right? The book that Andy wrote, oh man, don't tell me I don't have another copy. I have a copy around here. Oh, here it is. The 8 steps, this right here, man, the 8 steps are where it's at. It's what we do to become successful, right? Personal use, work, listen, read, attend all meetings, be teachable, be accountable, and then communicate with a positive mental attitude. The 8 steps fosters and creates your belief, right? And then the action, oh, God. My books, I give my books away. The action is our 8 core values, right? Our 8 core values helps us define our action and behavior, right? This defines why we do what we do and the values that we guide our behavior. So you build your belief by doing the 8 steps, 8 core values, right? Cup of life is prosperity, inspiration, and eternity. This is our direction, prosperity for us and our friends, inspiration to inspire others, and that God's earth, God put into this creation is for us to take part in and to enjoy. And eternity is the ultimate destination. This is where this cup of life is prosperity, inspiration, and eternity. And then the results are guided by duplication, light of day, duplication, edification. That's light of day, D. Duplication, association, edification. When you look at light of day, it multiplies the results. Light of day is a multiplier of the results. When you duplicate the proper attitude, the proper mindset, the proper actions, right, and associate getting around the people and then edifying, this multiplies the results that you're getting from doing twice the effort and getting half the results to doing getting twice the results on half the effort. Do you see how that works? When you look at every aspect of our game plan to success, when you look at the Alliance game plan to success, it is all in helping you create your belief so it pours into your potential, which then flows into your action, which then flows into your results, and the results then fills the cup of life. See how this works? So you have to work on what is important, which is doing everything to fill your mind with the right stuff. So he talks about 5 questions. 5 questions. Here are 5 questions that will help you zero in on who you are and what direction you may want to go. And here he says, the first question is, what are the principal values that you want to live by? Do you value loving relationships of friends and close family? Wow. Wow. Attend all meetings. Getting around people that love you and that will support you, our chosen family. Do you want to accomplish useful things in your life, help others, and make a contribution to society? Do you want acknowledgement of your self-worth, to know that you are appreciated? These are some of the key questions you can ask yourself to elicit your innermost values and beliefs about what for you are the most important things in life. Many people never face up to the values they cherish, and in doing so, never apply them consistently in their daily lives. Here, do you realize what this platform will do for you? You know, beyond providing financial security and success, it gives you a platform to define your core values of what you believe in, what you want to accomplish in your life. And then we give you a platform to do it, baby. We, we absolutely do. Second question, what activity gives you the most satisfaction and the greatest sense of accomplishment and feeling of importance? Your answer here will help direct you to your area of excellence. It may be something you haven't tried yet, but would like to do. If this is the case, try it. Get a taste of what it's like, then go from there. What gives you the most satisfaction? I remember when I was really into the praise and worship band thing, and I was just like going for it, man. And I thought, man, our band could be really great. And I was talking to Andy Albright, and he said, dude, can you really be world class at that? Can you be really, really good at that? And it was one of those kind of naked questions that strips you down naked and cuts you open, and you look in the mirror. And it's like, you know, God bless you with talent. But you know what? Maybe my talent in praise and worship music is effective and the most important at a church level, at our local parish church level. It doesn't got to be, like I remember meeting Mercy Me. I was talking to Bart Millard about how their band made it. And he and I were chatting, he and our buddies. And he goes, dude, I don't know how we made it. We just, God blessed us. But, you know, we started doing more festivals and county fairs, and we started going outside of our church. And then all of a sudden we started doing more, and we walked through each door that was open to us. But he goes, but you know what, if my mission was to serve at the local church level and, you know, praise the Lord in my band at the local church level, I would be just as gratified doing that as I am doing this nationwide, you know, worldwide. And it was speaking to me. I think God was saying, look, dude, you're really good at what you do with the Alliance. You are really good at that. You can be world class at that. You can influence and help people more than you can by playing your guitar. But I'll still let you play your guitar, but you know, only at the church level. It's like, okay, man, I'm good with that. Andy kind of had me wake up to, what am I really, really good at? And where really do I derive my satisfaction? I certainly do by playing guitar in our band every Sunday. I always look forward to it. But through the week, every boot camp I do, which is a ton of them since June, and every, you know, when I'm not feeling it, I still do it. And you know, my energy's low. It ends up being high after I get into it. I just feel good that maybe I served another person. Maybe one person on that boot camp will change their lives in a significant way. And maybe I have a little something to do with it. Maybe I'm just the messenger to pass on the message that the Lord wanted for that person. And so I act in the manner at which God wants me, and I'll play that role and fill that role to the best of my ability. And I get satisfaction knowing that maybe I served another person today. So what activity gives you the most satisfaction and the greatest sense of accomplishment and feeling of importance? That's question number 2. Question number 3. How would you change your life if you knew you had only 1 year to live? You ever ask yourself that question? I've heard that so many times, but have you ever pondered it? How would you change your life if you knew you had only 1 year to live? In this scenario, assume you're healthy during this 12-month period, you don't have any medical bills to pay, and you are on full salary, but don't have to go to work. In other words, your time is your own, and you have no health or money problems whatsoever. How would you spend your time? That's a great way to frame it. You know, people talk about if you're going to die, anyway, 1 year to live. I love the way he frames it. I would probably do what I'm doing. If I can make another impact in someone's life by what I do, what I say, a video that goes out there, well, then maybe I would continue to do this. That's what I do. Serve my family and love this family, right? Question number 4. Now consider Robert Schuller's favorite question. What one great thing would you do if you knew it would not fail? What one great thing would you do if you know you could not fail? Oh my gosh. What a thing. Andy talks about this all the time. If you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt, if you continued to do what you did, what would you do? What more would you do if you knew without a shadow of a doubt that you could do this and the results would be there? What wouldn't you do? Would you spend more of your time doing it? You cannot fail. Your success is certain and everyone will be so impressed. So what is it you want to do? Your success is certain and everyone will be so impressed. So what is it you want to do? If you did this knowing you could not fail. Then question number 5. What do you most want to be remembered for when you are gone? Just like writing your own epitaph. Here I lie with a sigh, wishing I had done something significant. Can you imagine if you had that on your tombstone? What do you most want to be remembered for when you are gone? You answer that question, man. What do I want to be remembered for? I don't know. Maybe I made a difference. Sometimes I wonder. I think that's kind of the doubt in my mind that I have to battle all the time is do I really make that difference? It's like Thomas Aquinas. If you guys ever learned about Thomas Aquinas, he's the doctor of the church, had all these amazing writings that he did, all this amazing stuff he wrote through his life, inspired by God. And, but he was always fighting this battle of trying to keep the church on the right path, having people think right about the church and what the church is all about. And at the end of his life, man, he said, all these writings I've done is nothing but straw. He said, he totally just kind of said, man, in his mind, he's thinking, I should have done way more than I did. Can you imagine I don't know that we ever should have that satisfied feeling that, yeah, I got there. Like at the end of my life, I got there. I think that if we're truly in service mode, I could have saved one more life. I could have got one more life on track. I could have influenced one more person. My life isn't long enough to do all that God wanted me to do. I think every saint that died probably felt like that, like I had more. There could have been one more person, right? I think ultimately when you look at your legacy and what you're trying to accomplish in your life, man, could you have helped one more person? Can you find another person to impact? Can you get your mind right on your belief? And so I'm just urging y'all, man, get your mind right. That's what Andy means, get your mind right, is get your belief level going, right? Because when you get your belief going, you maximize your potential, which then it fills your action cup, which then gets the results. And the results will then lead to you filling up your cup of life, man. And that's where I think you ultimately find happiness in this world we live in. So anyway, gang, I hope that helped you out. I needed to hear this more than you. I totally needed to hear this more than you. So that's probably why I talked about it. So great book, Think Like a Winner, Dr. Walter Doyle Staples. It's a pretty powerful book. So rock on, gang. I hope that helped. I know this is short, but I hope it was effective. God bless you all, man. Get out there. Get on the leaderboard next week, man. Super Saturday is tomorrow. You can book a ton of appointments today into Saturday. You can book a ton of appointments Saturday morning. You don't got enough leads, get with Ginny. She will help you. She will help you. She will help you. I will help you. I'm at the ready to help you close sales and take care of families. Break out of what your self-limiting beliefs are, and then pretend like if no matter what you did, you wouldn't fail, what would you do? So man, God bless you. Thank you for being on here.